I'm going to show you how we help this brand make $212,000 from their email list in just 30 days. Because whether you like it or not, email marketing is one of the best ways to scale your brand. See, not only does it average a 41x return, but it's also going to make your paid ads way more profitable. It's going to do this in two ways. It's going to help lower your cost per acquisition. So if you can get ad clickers to opt into your email list, which you can then get them to convert for cheap, it's going to save you money on getting that first purchase. And secondly, it's going to be the best way to get repeat purchases. So you're not just getting a one and done customer, you're getting multi-time buyers. However, you can only do this if you know what you're doing with email, which is why in this video, I'm going to show you everything that we did for this brand. We're going to walk through the pop-up form strategy that we used, all the automated flows that we built out with over 40 emails, then the emails we sent out to the list that made $212,000 in just 30 days. This way, you can do something similar for yourself. But for this to be something that you can actually copy, we need to start from the very beginning. And that's getting people to sign up to your email list in the first place. Now, for context, this brand already had an email list, like I'm sure most brands out there, but they were not growing it nearly as fast as they should have been. For brand driving as much traffic as they were seriously underperforming. And when we looked at their account, the reason was obvious. They had a basic pop-up form that was only converting 4% of their website traffic into email subscribers, when most of our clients see 10 to 15%. Taking a form from 4% to 12% would be a 3x in their email list growth. And that's 3x of their email marketing revenue that they could be getting. So this was the lowest hanging fruit on the account. This, of course, is going to help them get a lot more off of their ad traffic and get them a better return. So we replaced their basic asking for an email discount pop-up form with a survey style pop-up that engaged with the customer and asked questions before asking for an email address. And I know it sounds backwards to add extra steps for the customer, but by not asking for email first and asking a very simple, easy to answer question to the customer, you get much higher engagement rates on that first step, which we then ask them for their email address, and it triggers commitment bias in humans, where you're much more likely to follow through and comply on something if you've already started a series of actions. Somebody answers the question for the discount, we ask them for their email, and they're like, oh, well, I guess I have to enter my email. I already made it this far. We updated the design and the copy. We automatically took this form from 4% to 16.9% opt-ins. And they even decreased traffic in this time. But still, we took their average list growth from 17,000 new subscribers a month all the way to 30,000. Pretty crazy. That right there is a near double in the amount of people joining their email list. And imagine over a year-long period if we get double the people to opt into the email list. It's a lot of extra revenue. Specifically for Black Friday, Cyber Monday periods, imagine if you had double the list. So you can see for yourself, let me show you exactly what these look like. All right, so I'm gonna go to this website's homepage and we can take a look at the pop-up form and the experience that they have. So you can see this is what the pop-up form looks like for somebody when they go on the website. It's a strong offer. Do you want a free tube? And so it's like, yes, I do want a free tube. But instead of asking for the email, we just ask a question. To claim your discount, share what problem you're trying to solve. So me, as a viewer on this website, I'm like, oh, I just have to answer this question. Yeah, I'm dealing with some plaque and tartar issues. So that's why I'm on the website. I answer this question and then boom, now it asks me for my email. Now I'm like, oh, they got me. So now I'm gonna enter my email address. I'll put my email right here. You've got a free tube waiting. I'm like, oh, I'm so close. I answer this and then it says finish signing up with text to claim my discount. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I made it this far. I already gave them my email address. Now I'll enter my phone number. And then I'm already subscribed to this, but it's gonna say something like, hey, you've got your discount, check your email or your text messages to claim. Now inside of Klaviyo, this is how your form can look. You have your different steps up here, and all that we're doing is for this initial step, we're gonna say you have this discount, claim the discount. You can say, tell us what you're shopping for, tell us what problem you're trying to solve, anything like that. Then you just create buttons right here. You're just gonna drag in buttons from the editor. You're just gonna add a block button, and then for these buttons, you're gonna have it submit the form as the action, and then after submit, you're gonna have it show the next step. So when somebody submits this button, it's gonna take them to the next step, which is the email. So this is the type of form that absolutely crushes in 2026, so I highly recommend you use something like this. And as an added little bonus, for whatever the person answers in this quiz step, you can add a property right here. So I can say something like gender and create a property right here. If somebody clicks this button that says men, we're gonna apply their gender as men right here, and then I'm able to send them custom content down the line. Great way to get data and then customize somebody's content to get better conversions. Here's another example of us doing this for a brand, taking them from 17,000 new subs to 50,000 new subs over a 3-month period, just by doing this exact thing. And you can see the opt-in rates right here. Pretty crazy, it works. Now, if you're sitting here watching this video and your pop-up form is converting under 10%, you're missing out on a ton of customers literally every single day that you don't optimize your form. Like this brand, which was losing over $400 started potential subscribers every single day before we fixed their form. The issue is you really don't know what's broken and you don't know what to optimize. It's more than just setting up this form. And figuring that out can take months of its own, especially when you have a million different other things you're focusing on in the business. So if you want to shortcut the process, get more email subscribers, and make more money from your list, you can book a call with us below. We've worked with over 200 7 to 9 figure e-commerce brands, and we'll see if we can help you out as well. At the very least, I'll tell you exactly what to fix in your form. But either way, once we have nailed our list growth, the next step is making sure we can actually convert all this traffic. And that's where our automated email flows come in. Because even though these subscribers are handing over their email addresses to us, most of them aren't ready to buy right this second. So we made 8 automated flows to turn these subscribers into customers and one-time customers into multi-time customers. So this is the exact flows that we set up in the sequences and the triggers for each one of them. So I'm gonna go through these one by one. First, we have the welcome flow when somebody joins the list. So somebody opted in for some sort of discount on our pop-up form. Now we need to get them to actually give us their credit card. And so this is our typical welcome flow sort of template or setup, and you can fill this out for your brand. This is exactly what we did for this brand. We're gonna have an email 1, which is just a welcome email, and we're gonna deliver the incentive, give a little bit of brand information, and try to educate them on why we're so good. And then we're gonna have 1 to 5 kind of like educational, sort of like filler informational emails right here, and make sure we're reminding of the discount in each email. And then we're gonna go into a last chance urgency discount email before we do a text-based email from the founder being like, hey, everything okay? I extended your discount code for 24 more hours. We actually did 2 filler emails before the last chance and then the text-based, and every email was separated by 1 day. I don't like to wait more than 1 day because we have somebody's attention. We want to convert them now while we have it. So I don't like the waiting 2-3 days. I see way less conversions when we do that. And so here's like, for example, what a welcome email 1 can look like. You have just like the discount code up at the top, an educational section, and then feature some of your products right here. The discount code and the urgency is going to be what gets most of the purchases here. And then we have filler emails. You can do any sort of filler email, whatever you think is relevant for your brand, whatever sort of education. For this brand, what we did was we did a what's inside, because this was sort of, it was a health sort of supplement, health sort of product. And so we outlined what was inside, and then we did a FAQ sort of email. Then we just plugged the discount code as well throughout that email, and we were all good. And so there are some examples in here. You can pause and look at this if you want. If you want this doc also, then you can go to wellcopy.net/welcome-flow, and all this is broken down for you. But then we go into our last chance email where it's, hey, absolute last chance to place your discount, before we go into the text-based support email right there, where we can reach out from somebody on the team or the founder, and we say, hey, hope our previous emails have been giving you a taste to our commitment to quality. I extended your discount for 24 more hours. Here's the offer. This welcome flow absolutely prints. That's what we set up for this brand, and it's making them a bag. This is another example of a different brand where the welcome flow is generating $40,000 roughly a month. This exact welcome flow. Now let's get into our abandonment flows, which are going to be when somebody goes to our website and they interact with our website in some way, but they don't make a purchase. This is going to be the website abandoned flow, which is going to be anybody who goes to the website, but they don't view any products, and then they leave. We're going to have the browse abandoned flow. Somebody goes to the website and they view an actual product. They clicked on a product because they liked it, and then they left. And then we're going to have the cart abandoned flow. Somebody looks at a product, maybe multiple products, they add them to cart, and then they leave. And then we have the checkout abandoned, which is if somebody goes to the website, they add items to their cart, and then they go to the checkout page, and then they leave. Each of these flows is going to be a little bit different, but the idea is the same. We want to get these people back on the website. We want to show what they left behind and why we're so great. And so this first flow is going to be the site abandoned flow. Somebody goes to the website, but they don't view any products, and then they leave. So our first email, I like to wait 4 hours. We're going to send something like, hey, we noticed you stopped by. You should come back. We're really great. Here you can shop some other options, offer some support as well. Then we're going to follow it up a day later with this personal founder sort of like reaching out message. These text-based emails absolutely crush. It's why we're going to include them in every single one of our abandonment flows. Because imagine if you went to somebody's website and then somebody from the team personally reached out to you a day later, you'd probably like that, respect it, and you'd probably engage at a higher rate. So that's why we use this sort of like strategy. This is going to take us next into the browse abandoned flow, which is if somebody actually views a product and then leaves. We like to start off with an email like this. We want to show exactly what the person left behind. Hey, did this catch your eye? Use a dynamic section inside your email sending tool to show what they left behind. Give some social proof. We're showing some other products here, some testimonials, then that's great. For the second email, some sort of like add some more education or nurture right here. So same sort of deal here. Hey, take another look. These pajamas are waiting for you. Don't wait too long. Add some urgency, then fit in a testimonial and then some FAQs as well, before we then follow it up with entering a discount. At this point, I don't like to send a discount right off the bat. A lot of brands will do that. I like to try to get a sale without giving a discount. So we'll enter a discount right here. Hey, 10% off. Here's your product. Browse some other items. Maybe you don't want this one. one. So here's some other items before we go into the last chance browse abandoned email, which we're going to reach out from somebody from the team and say, hey, absolute last chance, here's your offer. And that's going to be the browse abandoned flow. And then lastly, we're going to have the cart and checkout abandoned flows. They are very similar. Somebody adds an item to cart or somebody goes to checkout, but we have different triggers. One of them is going to be the Shopify added to cart trigger, while one of these is going to be the Shopify checkout started trigger. We can use the same content, but these are going to be different flows inside your email sending tool. With this flow, I like to do something like just have a simple reminder, hey, click to buy, finish your order right here. And then we follow it up with a text-based email. And then a day later, again, similar to browse abandoned, we're gonna enter a discount and then do another text-based last chance email. We wait one day in between all these emails and we make sure that the product that the person left behind is just right in your face, it's large. And when we do our text-based emails, we fit in some social proof and try to give the person all the information that they need to make a purchase. Throw in some blocks about answering common questions. And then of course, finish with some urgency right here as well for the last email. This is your last chance. And this doc, if you want this long doc on all the abandonment flows, that is wellcopy.net/abandons. We can see right here for a different brand, the revenue from all the abandonment flows. We have the cart abandoned, checkout abandoned, browse abandoned. So it's 9K, 15K, 17K, and then the site abandoned down here at 3K. That's roughly 45K on the month, just from those flows that I just showed you. These flows are legit if you get them optimized right, just like how I showed you. And then we have some of the post-purchase flows. So these are gonna be the automated emails for a customer after they've bought. So we're gonna have the post-purchase flow right after somebody buys. We're gonna have the win-back flow. Somebody bought a few months ago, how do we get them to come back? We're gonna have the sunset flow, which is if somebody stops engaging from our emails, a last chance to get them back. So for the immediate post-purchase flow, I like to do something like this. Right when somebody places an order, we want to send a thank you message from the founder in some way based on how many orders they've placed. So it's a first-time buyer, let's have a custom message for them. Second-time buyer, have a custom message. Third time, fourth time, everything there. And so we want to send that and have just like a quick upsell for somebody to add to their order. You're gonna be able to get a lot of repeat purchases just from this. And then you can wait a day and then do another cross sell if you want to. I see that these have a really good performance rate. Then you can wait a few days and send like a get excited or some sort of educational email about like, hey, your product's probably here. It's arriving soon. Here's how to make the most out of your product, which we can follow up then on here. Then if you want to throw in some social media stuff right here and then a check-in from the founder, these are good to add in as well. So thank you from the founder can be something like this, like, hey, every day we're working hard. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can reach out here. It feels personal coming from the founder. It means a lot. And then you have a quick PS upsell. For this cross-sell, sort of like upsell email that you can send a day later, you don't need this email. If you want to be more aggressive, then yes, you can send something like this, but you can say like, treat yourself to something extra. If you want to have like a sort of discount, you can do that as well. But something like this is completely fine. Now, if you want to do a get excited, you can do like a your package is set to be on its way, and then you can do some more cross-sells if you want. There's another email that's optional. I would recommend including an email like this of how to get the most out of your product. So if you're a supplement brand, like here's what you need to do. If you've any sort of like educational stuff that you need, send at least one email kind of like explaining your product, which if you then want to follow it up with like social media, you want to push your social media, this is a great way to automate growing your social media from people who have already bought from you. And this is a nice touch that not a lot of people do, but we did this for this brand that this video is about. Something like this where it's, hey, I hope you are good and keeping in good health. It's been nearly 3 weeks since you started with us. You should see a difference in all this. As you can tell, we're not just about empty promises. As you continue, I'm confident that you are going to have a life-changing difference. And then you can also push them to place some more orders. Something like this from somebody at the team really means a lot. It's going to help build up goodwill with your customers. And also something like this gets a lot of sales. So I'd recommend sending something like this. So that is the post-purchase flow. Now we can move on to the win-back flow, which is we want to get people to come back after buying from us a while ago. So you can wait however long makes sense for your brand, 90 days, 120 days, whatever it is. We want to send an email like, hey, we miss you, and then send them some sort of discount and then a reminder discount. So this is what it would look like if you want to execute this. Super simple. We miss you, yada, yada, yada. Where are you? We've had some updates to the brand. You can set up something like this. Are you still interested? And then also you can insert a discount, whatever you think makes the most sense for your brand that you think will get people to convert. These sorts of emails are great. There's also this optional flow of a sunset flow. If somebody hasn't opened an email from you in the past 120 or 180 days, then you can send an email being like, hey, are you not interested anymore? We're going to remove you from the list. And this is what we did in this brand's case. And we also inserted a discount. Be like, hey, if you want to come back, here's 20% off. It actually brought in some sales. But usually this one is just for like making sure that your list is staying engaged. And as you get up here with your brand size, then you can have the win-back flow generate thousands and thousands. Now, the thing about the win-back flow is typically it's not going to be a big revenue generator if you're sending campaigns multiple times per week to your list, because most often people are going to get repeat purchases just from your campaigns. campaigns. Usually this is going to be a bigger moneymaker if you're not sending many campaigns. And you can see like the sunset down here for this brand, we're just using it to suppress people who are unengaged. You can see it's not really generating anything. You can see the post-purchase flow all the way up here, $32,000 in the past 30 days. So this tells us that people are willing to buy recently after they bought from you. So make sure you're sending quick upsells and cross sells. Now at this point, we have their flows up and running and generating about $100,000 every single month. And that is completely on autopilot. But the thing is, these flows are only going to work if somebody takes a specific action. And not everybody on your list is going to trigger past the welcome series. You need to give people a reason to go back to your website and trigger into your other flows. So to continue capturing revenue from the list and getting them to go back to the site, we are sending out 3 to 4 email campaigns to the list, blasting things out to anybody who's engaged. We sent 3 to 4 emails per week that are a combination of educational topics, social proof stories, product breakdowns, and occasionally the promotions. We don't want to send promotions too much because then your subscribers are only going to be trained to buy on sales. We want to be able to make sales without discounting. Once we were able to nail this, our campaign started doing over $100,000 every single month. I know 3 to 4 times per week may seem like a lot, and you're like, what the heck should I send? So let's go over some of these examples. So this is an actual content calendar that we sent for a client that did essentially 6 figures in revenue in 1 month. It's a clothing brand, so their topics are going to be a little bit different, but let's break down the performance on these campaigns. So you can see for Earth Day, we did a sustainability email just focusing on, hey, our packaging and everything is sustainable. Our products are completely sustainable. It's good for goodwill. And this one actually got really good engagement rates, and it actually brought in 5.7 grand in revenue when it's kind of just like a nurture email. And then we did a specific product push with like a pre-order because it was out of stock, and we're like, let's just push this out of stock item because pre-order makes people be like, oh shoot, this product must be something super popular. So we decided to create a campaign out of that, and it crushed with 17 grand. Then we do things like, what's your vibe? Here are staff pics. Here's the community. Here's you guys wearing our products. So mixing in these sort of educational emails of like outfit inspo, and then mixing in our sort of promotional stuff of free X with orders above X%. Some other things to take note here are these text-based emails, this text-based back in stock right here. And this text-based, you can see just the level of clicks, the click rates that we get on these text-based campaigns right here and right here, as well as these ones right here, which were also text-based emails. You can see I wasn't lying when I said that text-based emails perform really well and you don't have to do crazy graphics. And if you want to look at like what other brands are sending to influence your calendar, you can just go to milled.com. I have no affiliation to them, but I just use them and they will show you what all other brands are doing pretty much. And so you can click and you can look up any brand and see exactly what emails they're sending and how often. So we can go to this dog food brand. They sent November 9th, November 6th, November 2nd, October 31st. You can click in on these angles that they're doing. So this is one where it looks like this is just a testimonial email and they made a whole email about this testimonial. And this is great. It's emotional. It gets people to, they'll probably be able to relate to this testimonial. You can see the design that they do is super strong as well. One of my favorite examples is this brand Breeze right here. They do a great job at not being too pushy. They're one of the fastest growing brands in the space right now, and for good reason. You can see they mix in a lot of these text-based sort of emails. I love it. So here's like a good one, for example, right here. Super friendly, coming from Corbin. I know how easy it is to get swept in the rush of this time of the year. The truth is, best moments usually happen when we slow down. So it's sort of like inspirational community building right here. And then subtly, they're gonna have a PS. If you need a restock, just click here. And I know this stuff performs really, really well for them. Super personal. And also they have great design. They have great pushes and benefit-based emails. They have this something to take the edge off. So they're just focusing on product highlight right here. They give recipes for using their product, which is great. And they send at a very healthy frequency of essentially once per day. That's a bit aggressive. You don't have to go quite up to that range. But if you're an 8-figure brand, then typically I would recommend going to that rate, but only to specific segments. So mess around in Milled, see what other brands are doing, but make sure you're not doing too much promotional and you're mixing in a lot more community building and educational emails. Just like we did for this brand here, you can see exactly the ratio that we did. Now that is the exact system that we helped this brand scale to $212,000 per month from email in literally just a 30-day period. And now at this point, you have 2 options. You can either figure this out all on your own and go through all the trial and error, keep watching YouTube tutorials, or you can get help from a team of experts like us. We've generated over $200 million in email marketing revenue across 200 brands across all niches. If you're interested in seeing how we can help you out, just book a call below. Link will be in the description. If that's not you, luckily I have an 8-hour course that you can watch on email marketing. Completely free. Click right here and watch the 8-hour course, and I'll see you over there.